Hi everyone. So we're clear, I'm in a Holiday Inn down the road because we had an outage, should we say. So I just want to, for those on here so far, can you please let me know if you can hear me loud and clear? That would be good. Just type in the chat box. Cool. Okay, I can see we've got Tim, the Dim, we've got Wayne, we've got Jennifer, a few others on. Good. Okay, great, fantastic. Can see and hear you. Brilliant. Let's get cracking. Hi, Wayne. Wayne, I'll call you afterwards, mate, about that deal. We can run through it on Skype if you like. Cool. Okay, so let's start off fresh. So what we're talking about is automation. And the thing is with automation, especially in service accommodation, is that if you start off all guns blazing from the start and you only want one or two deals, then you're going to be paying a lot for tech, a lot for apps that you're not really going to use in anger, so to speak. So you're going to be spending a lot of money on technology that you don't really need, to be fair. If you're going to be doing, 5 plus, maybe even sort of 4 plus, then you're going to be able to get the profits to pay for the automation that you need. Now, automation comes in many shapes and forms and sizes, etc. Automation can be as simple as a key box. And you just send an email saying that here's the key box and here's the number, you can let yourself in. Now, the danger of that is if your property is not fully up to spec and fully up to scratch, people are going to let themselves in. And if there's a small issue, they don't know how to get a hold of you or something like that, that's going to lead to a bad review. The same as if you have CCTV, it can help on top of that, but the key box and the CCTV are just one of the collection of the system, if you like, for automation. So I'll tell you some of the sites that we use. So obviously we use 2Key, right? 2Key is where you can manage all of the calendars, etc., from all of the different channels, so you don't get double bookings. Now, everybody thinks, well, not everybody, most new people think that when you're starting out in service accommodation, that this is all you need, the channel manager, because it's what they're told, it's all you need. And to be fair, it's probably all you do need, really, for 1 or 2 properties. But if you want to expand your business, then there's going to be a lot more work that you're going to have to do around admin and that type of thing. So this is where the automation comes in place. So automating your actual property is actually quite simple. And these simple steps, so let's go through them. So you're going to need a channel manager to handle your calendars and that type of thing. And channel manager is exactly as I said, it handles input from Airbnb, Booking.com, Expedia, TripAdvisor, Flipkey, whoever you want, Holiday Lets, and that type of thing. It enables you to be able to advertise on all of those different channels without getting double bookings. The next thing you're going to need is you're going to need to get somebody to do your linen. And we use Stalbridge, STAL Bridge, Stalbridge, who are a Johnson company. And they're very good because they will drop off a big wheelie bin. They have a little lock on it. They put in the linen that you've told them that you think you'll estimate that you'll need for the week. And then they'll come back in a week at the same time. Could be 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, so you don't want to be there. This is why they provide these bins. And then they'll you would have put in the old stuff or your cleaner. Part of the automation is asking your cleaner to put it in there. And then when you when the cleaner comes in and collects the new stuff, the old stuff goes away, etc., each and every week. And you just let them know if you're running a lot busier, like a higher occupancy rate, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to need more linen, because if you run a 100% occupancy rate with one tenant, one guest, should I say, then that's only 4 cleans every 7 days. So you're actually going to need less than what you were if your occupancy rate was 75% and you had 10 people, 10 separate bookings. So just be aware of that. So that's quite simple and easy to manage, to be fair. So Tukey and Stylebridge are very easy to manage. Tukey is also very good for your automated emails that you can send out, pre-bookings, check-ins, checkout, pre-checkout, these type of things, post-checkout, and also, thank you for your booking and that type of thing. So these are very easy. You can get a bit more advanced if you start using an email provider, but we'll get into that as we go along. So then we have, so you've got your Tukey, you've got your channel managers, you've got your linen, and then you're going to need your cleaner. The cleaners are going to need to be professionals, not just some fly-by-nighter, somebody who's decided to start up a cleaning company because they've screwed up service accommodation or anything like that. You don't want somebody who really is keep chopping and changing from one strategy to another. You want somebody who has a professional cleaning company, and you want them to have multiple staff as well. And because you're going to need them as well, you want to make sure that they can be, called in if and when needed, ad hoc. Because a lot of companies just prefer a set clean each week or each month or whatever it might be. So you need to make sure that these people are on board. They can also do all of your maintenance checks and this type of thing as well. So cleaners are very good. So I guess that's kind of a human automation, but it just means that we don't need to be there. What else on top of that? Okay. I'm thinking about our business and how we do it, the basics. So with your Tukey, if you're looking to, then there's the door entry, the key entry. So you'll have your key box as we spoke about. You put a code. You should change. Good practice to change the code every time, but it's not completely necessary. But it is good practice to do it, especially if you're dealing with tourists who are coming and going. It doesn't have to be every single time because they're not going to be coming back next week. And that's very simple, again, to do through your Tukey channel managers. You can send those codes out. One thing that you can also do, you can get your cleaners and you can have them as a login so that they can, and only one login for one person, so they can see exactly when they need to be there. So you don't actually have to be telling anyone to do anything. So they can have a login to your Tukey and they know exactly when their next cleaner is coming. But they must also check any messages or anything like that. So you need to make sure you train them on it, because there may be messages where people are requesting a late checkout and early checkout. It could be that if you are going to fully automate, that you actually say that it's a strict checkout of 11 o'clock and a strict check-in at 3 p.m. or something like that. If you're getting somebody else to do those check-ins, especially if it's yourself, then you can be a lot more flexible, obviously. And then we get a bit more advanced with the email. So you can add more graphics in your logo and this type of thing, make it look a bit more sexy. And you can use what we call MailChimp, which is MailChimp.com, M-A-I-L, MailChimp. And what you can do integrations with Tukey, so you can send all your emails, if you like, directly from MailChimp, and you can fully automate within MailChimp as well. And you can build up nicer templates and this type of thing, and you can bold stuff, and it just looks a lot more sexy. Do you need all of that? Probably not, but some people like all of that sexy stuff. It's like people say, should you have a business email? It's never lost me any business, and I use a Gmail account a lot across the board. Some business accounts I do. Our nursery business, we obviously have a business one because that's the way it is. That's the nature of the beast. And then we get on to, from there, you start to get a bit more advanced with technology, I guess. Okay. Obviously, somebody's just said, don't forget WellPay. So there's WellPay as well, or there's Stripe. So we use WellPay to take payments from people like Expedia. We use it for Booking.com and what have you, and direct payments. Now, WellPay offers two types of payments. that we use. There's your virtual terminal where you can type in all of the information that you get from the customer. But you're going to need their email, you're going to need their address, you're going to need their phone number, you're going to need their CV2 code, you're going to need their full credit card, all of their expiry details and this type of thing, their full address, their proper address, so to ensure that that goes through. Now, we also use Pay by Link, which is another option, if you like, that you can use with WellPay. And what that does is that enables us to simply send the guests an email. All you need is their name and email and the amount that you're going to be charging. And it sends them a nice looking professional link directly from WellPay. And people trust WellPay, obviously, and then they can pay pretty much with any card that they like. So we like using Pay by Link. And again, we have automated emails that get sent out with that, and WellPay will actually send as many reminders as you like as well. So we send one 3 days before and then the other one 24 days before. And it's also just letting them know that for their security, until they're paid, they're not allowed into the property. We've allowed one person into the property because they were traveling tourists, but we have not left the property or allowed them to basically unpack or do anything until they've actually paid, and they had the link, and all they had to do is go onto the link and put their details in. She said that because she was German, she couldn't understand that well. I know a lot of Germans, most of them do speak very good English. She also had a daughter with her who speaks really good English. So I decided just to put all her details through the virtual link, and it was all paid and all done, and they're happy with their stay, and they gave us a great review. So it's about managing a business as well. That type of thing is very hard to automate if you have to sit there with them. So I suggest that if you are going to offer zero human contact, then you need to be using the virtual terminal, and you need to take prepayment. So you can, as soon as they book, you take the payment straight away. Simply because with booking, when you first start off, they won't allow prepayment for you until you have, like a good long record with them, or at least 3 properties and that type of thing. But a lot of people talk about booking as being hard, but booking will make your business, because you'll get tons and tons and tons of bookings. From the outset, what you'll start to get is you get a lot of Airbnb bookings, but as your business grows, if you like, and as you create more bookings within booking.com, and you'll get better reviews, you'll be at the top. And you don't need to be a preferred partner and pay the extra 3%. Just do the right thing and you'll get to the top with reviews. You want to be 9.4, you want to be 9 plus, really. So you start getting on that first page of top reviews when people search for reviews. So booking.com is fantastic. Just learn how to use it and learn how to manipulate their systems, if you like, without breaking the rules, and you'll be fine. So from there, what you also need is something like you'll need a good accountant, somebody who understands TOMS, which is Tour Operator Margin System. But what you'll need is an accounting software. I use Free Agent. Not a preference on Free Agent. In fact, I'd probably prefer something like Xero or QuickBooks. But we started out with Free Agent with our other businesses, and that's what we used to. And there's tons of information in there. It's just gonna be a bit of a pain for us to change over. But Xero, spelled Xero, or QuickBooks, or there's many other accounting systems out there that you can use. They're all equally very good. I'm just going to make sure that we're all still going here. Yeah, good. Okay, we're still going. Just making sure. So yeah, and what you can do is, once you hit the VAT threshold of 83 grand, you'll be able to monitor this all through there, and then you can also integrate your system into Toolkit as well, and it will show you as you go along, and you can just also look at your reports within Toolkit to see where you're going and see how quickly you're going to hit 83 grand, and then tell your accountant. When we started service accommodation, my accountant looked at her books and said, look, we're starting up this business. And she said, okay, I said, look, we need to know when we're going to hit 83 grand. And she was pleasantly surprised and wanted to start service accommodation very quickly, simply because of the super fast ramp up of service accommodation. So free agent, Xero, whatever it is that you want, so you can track everything there. You can track your tax, you can track your what you're paying yourself. You can also track your dividends, what tax will be coming up that you're going to need to pay. And when it does come to that, you're going to, your accountant will be able to send a letter out to HMRC and exactly how much VAT they're going to be paying and how much they estimate, that type of thing. They will need a password and a code for that. So you need to contact the HMRC and give the details for your accountant. They then send out to you, it's a passcode or a password, and you then send that to your accountant. Your accountant logs on and they've got access to your HMRC details for that particular company. So you'll need something like that. There's also a product called Asana, which is ASANA. And now I'm telling a lot of people this, but most of you won't need to use it. It's where you can start to join up like workflows and this type of thing. You can build it from different apps as well. Have a look at it, but it's not something that you need at the moment. If you're not going to be, until you hit 5, you're not really going to need it. And it just helps people track their workflows. A really good application is called Zapier, which is Zapier. And if there's apps that you use every day, which you will once you get to 4 or 5 properties, it will connect the applications that you use every day. So have a look at it. It's called Zapier.com, Zapier.com. We've used it in our other business as well. And it will have triggers, much like you do in Tukey, but it's not a trigger within the system. It's like if you get an email somewhere like in Gmail or wherever your emails are, so you get a new email, and what you can automatically do, if you don't want to have a big bulk email or loads of attachments, let's say, within your email, within your inbox, you can automatically copy the attachment into a Dropbox account. So it's absolutely brilliant. And that works for if you need to, like when we're asking for, let's say, photo ID, they may have a big file like a 1 meg or 1.5 or 2 meg if they send a large file, and you can actually, that can automatically be copied into your Dropbox. You can set up a file and you can have photo IDs and this type of thing, and then it can alert you, once you have a new Dropbox or something like that. So there's loads of difference. That's one of their main applications, if you like, they point out on their site. But it is something that we use as well because it's really good and it's fully automated. You just fill in all the details where you want it to go, and have a good look at it. It will, you can get it to push stuff into Facebook, take stuff out of Facebook. I think there's about 600 or 700 different apps that they work with as well. And companies, big companies use them, like Spotify and other companies like that as well. So you can start to integrate things as well, and you can automate stuff between applications, and it just helps you build an entire process. So when you're looking at a process, don't go onto the internet and look at all the apps and go, right, okay, if I do this, I do that, and I do that. Get an old-fashioned sheet of paper and write down, right, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5. Some of you might have actually seen on the internet a lot of people advertising ClickFunnels. So basically, ClickFunnels, this is what you're doing, but it's within applications, if you like. So it's not a ClickFunnels, so you don't need to ClickFunnel this for this. But it's a similar thing where you're building a funnel for your business, but we actually call it a process, if you like, or workflow, where the applications will come in and then there'll be 1 or 2 things that they do, then it will go off to another application before it's actually finished. So that helps you automate your business. at a very high level, and you can dig it down as deep as you want for that type of thing. But like I say, you don't need to sort of be doing this type of stuff anyway right now, unless you've got 4 or 5. But it's good to know that if you do have, the goals to hit that type of property, or 10 or 20 or 30 or 40 or 50, then you're going to need to start thinking about stuff like this. So it's good stuff to look at. If you've got direct debits as well that you want to set up for money going out or money coming in, you can set that up with a company called GoCardless, which is gocardless.com. And you can get automatic payments via direct debit and this type of thing. But it's all done online, and it's another part of the process that you can build in, if you like, so they can push out to different applications. So that's really good. We like GoCardless. My wife uses it a lot in her business, and it connects with QuickBooks as well, or Xero. So you've got all those direct integrations there as well, but there's tons of integration. So have a look at those. The next applications, so we look at, I'm trying to remember what it is. Just let me have a quick look here. I'm trying to think. I'm just looking at the application that we use, which is really good. It's not one that I use in service accommodation, but it's one that I have used and my wife still uses today. And I will tell you what that is right now. It begins with A, I know that. Okay, answer.co.uk. So if you go to answer.co.uk and you have a look on there, this is an answering service where people actually take your phone calls. I'm waiting for the page to load for a minute, but it's you don't have to set up any contracts. It's like pay as you go, and so if nobody answers any calls in that month, you pay nothing. If somebody answers a call, and then 2 calls or 10 calls, then you pay for your calls. But the good thing is, it's a 24-hour system as well, a 24-hour service, so that if you don't want to, I've been called out a couple of times with service accommodation where somebody phoned me like the early hours of the morning. This is a few months ago now. We've fixed things since then. And I didn't take the call, missed the call, and it turns out that somebody had a big issue and they had no other contact details, and they went off and stayed with a friend or whatever. So it was a big pain, and we managed it so that we didn't get a review. We didn't want them to give us a review, but we managed that. So if you had a pay-as-you-go sort of answering service, you can do that, and you can actually give them scripts to do and that type of thing as well. So it's fairly cost-effective. Now, it may be that you only use it when you're on holiday. You don't have to use it all that time. And they've got like average ring times, like 2 rings or 2.5 rings or something like that. So it's really good. And they get stuff done pretty quickly. And you just have to give them all of your information that, like frequently asked questions and this type of thing, so they can answer that for you, or they can just be a simple answer service, so whatever you wish. But that's also very good to have. You don't have to use these ones. You can go and look at other ones if you like. You can find PAs and virtual assistants, so you can get virtual assistants in sites like Time Doctor. Time Doctor is quite good, or TransferWise. Time Doctor is really good. You just have to sign up and download the application. So if you download the application, then you can start using it. Time Doctor is good for your virtual assistants, if you're going to have a virtual assistant, because what you do is you have them log into there, so they will say when they actually started the call, and then they hit a button on there that actually, and it will show stuff that they've done in email or what they've done or the actions that they've covered, and then they click stop at the end when they're finished. So if you have a virtual assistant and you might have a couple of calls that they've done or something like that, and they say they spent 20 minutes per call on that, then you have no tracking of that. So if you can use Time Doctor, which is quite good, it's very simple to use. they log into that they click on that every time they take a call or do something for you. Or if you have a virtual assistant who is doing a job for you, then they can click onto that. If they're doing it by the hour, they click onto that and they can put in all of the process that they're covering, that type of stuff. So that's quite good if you want to do that type of thing. And you can also use that with answer.co.uk, but they tend to do that. They tend to offer those systems within there as well. So there are loads of different things that you can use. You know, I could go on about technology all day, every day. I mean, Ring is another one. Our Ring.com. It all comes up on your apps, and you know, I've had information here since I've been sitting here that that I've had somebody is at one of my properties, somebody at another property, and it shows you, so you can see that's actually, you can see Tony's actually turned up. So I know that we've got a very well-known guest coming in. If you can see him there, he's just actually gone into here. That's where the storage is for the linen. Tony, if you're watching, you're not, because you're there live, mate. So Tony's actually in there right now, getting it ready, because we had an automated email that went out last night to the guest who's coming in. They've then contacted Tony from the information that we put on that email and said, look, can we come in tonight? Because he was coming in tomorrow. So Tony's now getting it ready, as you can see, for the people who are going out. So they've actually checked out. He's now making sure that everything is in place, because we're going to treat this guy like gold. We treat everyone like gold, but maybe we're going to treat him a bit like the diamond, because we want a great review. And all of these famous people are on Twitter, so it would be really good if he could sort of, you know, post a picture or something like that of the champagne that we've given him for his check-in and those type of things. So it's good, and that's where automation has actually helped us as well. Okay, so let's have a quick look here. Let's just make sure that, just making sure you're all still here. Good. Okay. Okay, great. Good. So any questions you've got, guys, fire them away. I don't want to talk really any more about automation, although there's loads of things that we can do. All I can say is that if you want to set up a property, then I would say that what are the essentials? So the essentials are a channel manager. The essentials are communications. So you're going to need a email provider, automation provider such as MailChimp. MailChimp is good because it's free for the first 2,000. And what you can use MailChimp for is also automating your contacts that you might get from Experian, for marketing directly to companies. And again, it's something that you can set up, you can automate it, set up triggers, the whole lot, and you can design it around your logo. You know, it's fantastic. We use it for all of our businesses. The other essential I would say is obviously you need cleaners, you need a linen, that type of thing, but I'm not going to go into the details that you need for that, because you know what they are. But the details that you're going to need, the essential that you're going to need, in my opinion, is CCTV. The best CCTV is one that you can communicate through as well. And the most economically viable at the moment that we have is Ring.com. Ring.com is good simply because you can have a two-way conversation. They can see you. They can't see, you can see them, but they can't see you. And you can have the doorbell on there, or you can actually have just the actual camera. Now let me have a quick, I'll show you what I mean if you like, so that you're fully clear. Let me share my screen. Share. Okay, there we go. So you see my screen here. So you've got, these ones are expensive, the little slimline ones, and you don't actually need them. And you can see here you've got the out. So these are quite good, these ones. If you've got a big property, like a house, you can put it out the front so the lights actually come on and you can talk through those. But these are the actual ones that we use. Now you want to be looking at ring 2, not ring 1 now. Although there's not a lot of difference, to be fair, it's just that down here on ring 1, there are 2 little screws that you need to take the batteries out, whereas the new one, you can actually slip it out nice and easily. And ring 1 records in 720 HD and ring 2 records in 1080 HD, so it's just better quality. But you don't necessarily need ring 2. If you're going to be connecting up to the mains, to the existing doorbell, then ring 1 is enough. And I'm saying this because ring 2 is a little bit more expensive. With your apartments where they won't allow you to screw anything to the walls, you can actually stick these with 3M backing tape. It's like a double-sided tape. It's really, really strong. And you can either stick them to the door or right next to the door. And the batteries last for about 2 or 3 weeks, depending on how many times somebody rings that bell. But it also means that you can hear anything that's going on, any parties or anything like that. So it's really good. It's a great deterrent, and we put pictures of it on there. And there is another one, if I can just find it. So here, security cameras. So these little cameras here, these little black ones, you can basically put them up anywhere. So you can put them above the door or anything like that, where it's kind of out as, people's reach. It's not a doorbell, but it can be used on balconies, for instance. So if anything happens, like one of our students had an issue where somebody threw something off the balcony, obviously the cyclist, one of their guests. So if you had that outside, then you can simply say, look, here's the link, and you can give them the links, 1 link, 2 links, 3 links, 4 links, 5 links, however many links it is, however much time it takes. And you can actually send that if anything did happen, God forbid, and then you've got that CCTV, and it basically shows who's done it. And you're in the clear because they've got photographic proof of what's happened. And I know it sounds like, oh wow, this all sounds like a bit scary, but sometimes things will happen. So here's video doorbell 2. Sometimes things will happen, and it's just good to know that you have the evidence there, or you have the backup to know that you're covered. So here we go. So Video Doorbell Pro, you can see that actually doesn't come in a battery. It's only hardwired. So this one here, Ring 1, is rechargeable battery or hardwired, and it's the same for Ring Doorbell 2. Just it has a quick release now, has 1080, not 720. So pretty much everything else is fairly standard. So you don't really need Ring 2 unless you're going to have battery operated, and that's quick and easy. With your accessories, you can get backup batteries as well. Do get the little chime thing. Here you can get the little chime that fits, because people will use your doorbell, so you want to be able to chime it inside as well. These little things here are just so you can angle it. We've got those on our install kits. It's just to help the camera angle. There's the battery pack, the quick release, so you can see they're quite easy. Now the good thing is that if they do get nicked or stolen, the people who've stolen them are on camera, so Ring will actually replace them free of charge. So good, fantastic. Now, any questions, fire away, but that's pretty much it from me as far as automation goes. Yes, there is a lot more. Once you get to that stage, please let me know if you want to do a lot more automation. But to be fair, the key things that you're going to need is your channel manager, your cleaners, your linen, should I say, your cleaners, and also your email systems, and your ring.com. And that's what I would recommend, simply because it's what we're using and it works absolutely brilliant. But again, I'm not making recommendations, just telling what we do. Hi Jennifer, yes, I am live. This is live. Okay, so any questions you have, please fire them through. I know we've given lots of information. It's later than expected. The replay will come out, so there'll be a replay. Other than that, Priya, I've spoken to you already. Good. Jennifer, I'll put some information forward for you and Davide, looking for the manager. So I've given him a heads up there. And Wayne, I'll talk to you. Give me 15 minutes after this. I'll run through that deal with you, the development deal, and through the spreadsheet that you've sent me. Other than that, thank you all very much. We finally got to talk about automation without getting cut off. Automation, eh? Okay, just let me check a couple of other bits. Good, good, great. It's about HMO. Okay, Jennifer, fire away. What would you like to know about your HMO? What questions do you have on your HMO? Somebody's asking if they don't have ring.com, what are the consequences? I can tell you this. The reason I'm talking a lot about ring.com and CCTV at the moment is because one of my students sent me photos, and I'll see if I can show you them, where their property was completely trashed to pieces. Okay, oh, sorry, I'll show you the photos. So there's, just let me get back onto here so I can see. So there's one there. You can see all the lamp is smashed, turned over. There's puke on the floor or whatever it is. Another one here. Look at the bin. Trashed. At least they put the stuff in the bin. And here, just an absolute mess. Now, fair enough, that's easy to clean up. But that is a smashed balcony window. That's very expensive. You can see closer up there the mess that they made. And here what they did is just stripped the bed and trashed it. They were throwing a lot of that over the balcony. And you can see here all the blinds are trashed. You can see here they've taken stuff off the balcony. Actually threw stuff off the balcony. Now, fortunately, because of automation, the student, because of their resourcefulness, has turned that around in 2 days and got the £1,680 worth of damages back. Now, I know this person very well, and I know that this student was not going to take no for an answer until they got their money back, some way, shape or form. And they've done it. They've done it professionally, gone through all the proper channels. They didn't get the police involved because they had the money paid back. But as we both agreed, if he had had CCTV to the front of the property, to that balcony, he would have heard and seen from motion detection all of this happening before it even kicked off. It was a young lady who decided that she was going to invite a couple of people back to the flat from the pub, and 20 turned up and they went absolutely crazy. So is it essential to have CCTV? For me, 100%. Okay. Our current landlord has given us his house. He's not fussed about deposit. Fantastic. Shall we issue a deposit replacement or a home insurance is enough? So if they don't want deposit, then you don't have to issue a deposit replacement insurance. You don't have to do anything if they don't want it. But you should have your own insurance, 100%. I'm not sure what you're asking here, because you're saying that he doesn't want deposit, then you're saying you don't, that should you issue deposit replacement insurance? Okay, it also says here that one of your clients faked an email from me to the DPS so that he can take it back to deposit. What can I do? The DPS has much more robust security in place than just sending an email. They will actually have to phone you as well and speak to you, and you have to give specific details from an email that they send you or a text. So just phone up DPS and tell them that none of this has happened, and then issue a warning to your tenant about fraud, and go from there. Yes, Wayne, Ring has 180 degrees field of view. Ring Pro has one. Yeah, we don't use Ring Pro. Never use Ring Pro because it's not battery operated. But that's good to know. Thank you. Which means that basically, if you like that, you can see all down there and all down there. Fantastic. Okay, so for insurance, if you go onto the Facebook group and you type in insurance, which I'll do now to make sure it's still there, oops, and speak to Chloe. Oh, 1 second, I'm not searching, I'm writing. Go onto the group, the cash flow group, and then go on to search. Search. Where is search? And just type in insurance and Chloe and you'll get it. If not, I'll tag you on it when I'm finished anyway. I can't seem to find search on there, on the group. But Priya, I'll tag you on it. Oh, here we go. It's on the left. Here you go. 1 second. Insurance. So for those who don't know, Charlie Honor, he is the guy who does the deposit replacement insurance. And then we have Chloe. I'll tell you what company, but it's just gone past my head right now. Here we go. Right. So we used to look at Insurance Desk, but we don't use them anymore. Let me see. Sorry, guys. So she can do public liability, professional indemnity, etc. IHG, that's the one there. Here we go. So I'll tag you on there now, Priya, so you can speak to her. Again, it's who we use, but you don't necessarily have to use them yourself. It's good to get various quotes. So I've tagged you on that one now, so you're on. Okay. Welcome. I can't believe that. DPS are giving you a deposit and they don't want to deal with fraudulent activity. That's unbelievable. Normally they have to send you like a text, a code, and go through all sorts of stuff. Okay, Jennifer, I would phone up a manager or something like that and have a good chat, because that to me sounds a bit strange. I haven't experienced that myself. They're usually it's really quite hard sometimes to get your deposit out. Okay. Good. Okay, I've covered off all the questions there. Hopefully that helps. Jennifer, let me know how it goes, because I'm interested in that actually. Here. Unless they've also faked a U or something as well on the because don't forget you're going to be talking mainly to a call center person. So okay, cool. Yeah, so they might have faked your phone number, all sorts of stuff. Buggers, aren't they? Yeah, I think Jeff has just agreed. Oh, it is. Yes, it is live, Jeff. Hello, mate. Nadim, question about JVing. Fire away. What pricing strategy would you try in quiet months? Jeff, okay. You don't want to be dropping off. It could be maybe that you raise it to 3 or 4 nights minimum, and maybe drop the price by 10% or something like that. So you get longer stays, but you're getting less costs. So even dropping the cost will get cancelled out with less costs. That's what we're doing at the moment, and it seems to be working quite well. Okay, JVing, how do you set the contract up? What type of contract is it? If rent to rent, whose name should it go in for the property? Here's a 50-50 split share if you are putting in all the money and they are running it. Anything to watch out, beware of. Okay, so this is how we set up an agreement. You both sit down and you agree what it is that you want to do. From there, you will have a basic heads of terms. I would then take it to a solicitor. It might cost you 250 quid, which again you can both share the cost of, and then get them to add their Latin and all that crap to make sure it's nice and watertight. 50-50 split. Yes, it's fair, but it depends how much work you're putting in. If they're putting in all the money and you're putting in all the work, then 50-50. I think so. But it's up to you what you want to work out. You know, every deal is completely different. It could be that you run it at 75% in favor of the person giving the money, and you 25% until they're actually paid off, which should be within 3 to 4 months. So they want to pay off their actual money. And don't forget, they're also, if they're going guarantor as well, then you're going to have to keep them as part of the deal. So yeah, that's more than fair. Anything to watch out and beware of? Yep, scumbags. No, I'm only joking. Kind of joking. You want to make sure that you just get everything down in writing and then get everything covered, even like mediation or something like that. If something goes wrong, just make sure that it's all written down that a third party will mediate. Okay, so Jennifer, yeah, well, they've copied everything. If you've got proof of that, then you can file it with the police, whatever you want to do. But I would just say that lesson learned, really. Perhaps provide a separate email address, create a new email address that you only create for DPS or something like that. It could be a reactive thing that you've learned to do and then cover it off with that. So Nadim, are you actually looking for an investor? Let me know that, because I know that we actually have one here on the webinar who's looking to invest, and also within the area that you're in right now. And they would be happy to go with the 50-50 split share, and they would put all the money in. So let me know that, and then I will put you in contact with them. Okay. So just let me know that in the DIM. If you don't want to let me know here, let me know afterwards, and then I'll put you both in touch. And you are both very close to each other within the same area. Cool. And for the other person, the investor, I know the DIM is an extremely hard worker and has made a one-bed property work extremely well, better than what I probably could have made it work. So hats off to you, buddy. All right. Okay. All right. That's it, guys. That's it for me. If there's anything further you need, let me know. Happy hunting. And for those watching the replay, this is no longer live. Excellent. Okay. So Nadim, let me know. I'll pass those details on. Welcome. Oh, we've got to hold on from Jeffrey, the koala. Hold on, Jeff. Okay. I'll phone you straight after, Jeff. I promise I will phone you straight after this, within 15 minutes. Okay. You're gilding or you're building? Yeah, you're building. Okay. Let's set that up. Let's set it up for next week. Okay, good. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. I'm signing off. If you missed the start of it, the startup was all about automation and different sites that you can use. But again, don't get too bogged down with what you need in technology, because you'll just be a tech freak. And this is service accommodation. So use the bare necessities that you need to help you get by. All right. Thanks, guys. Take care. Bye.